Hey folks, thought I would shoot a quick update video and show off some stuff that I picked up recently. Want to kind of knock this out so that I can get to making videos on this sale that I went to yesterday. Yesterday I went out to the Kentucky Expo and then for half price music and books big sale. And I got a ton of stuff. So, but this is stuff that I picked up other places, and thought I'd give you a look. So I'm going to start off with the vinyl because I don't have much of it. I haven't bought much vinyl lately. But the first one I picked up was the Louvin Brothers, the family that prays, the family who prays. This is a, I don't see what, I don't see the year on the front. It's on Capitol Records. Okay. And I don't see a date on the label. So I apologize. I should have looked that up before I started shooting, but it's the Louvin Brothers, the family who prays. No, but very cool. I don't know, I don't know much about these guys yet, but I keep seeing them on Andy's Vinyl Den, so I thought I'd give them a shot. Okay, the next album, Jimmy McGriff, Soul Organ. Jimmy McGriff is one of the great jazz organists out there. Or, well, I don't know. He might be passed by now. This is a 1978 album. The label says Quintessential Jazz Series, but it's basically a Pickwick label. It's a Pickwick Records on the back. But that's a great picture of Jimmy, and I can't imagine this album being anything less than great with him playing on it. The next album is also jazz. Zoot Sims, Zoot Case. This album, let's see, I think, did I see 78 on it? It's 76, Prestige Records. Most of the stuff was recorded back in the 1950s, but it is a 2-album gatefold. So, very cool. And the vinyl on this is just, it's on the, Jake, you're crabbing me a little bit, buddy. Prestige label. And the vinyl on it was just spectacular. So, I grabbed it. Last album, I guess do you want to do the next album? Since it's since your namesake's on it. Okay, so the final album, had this on disc for a long time, but I came across a vinyl copy of Best of the Blues Brothers. Here's the back. And of course on Atlantic Records. It's just a regular Atlantic sleeve. And, I'm a huge Blues Brothers fan. So I was very, very pleased to pick that up. And so that gives me the soundtrack, Briefcase Full of Blues, and now Best of the Blues Brothers. I think I have all 3 on on both CD and vinyl now. Okay, so let's look at some CDs. The first one to show you, Glen Campbell, the Inspirational Collection. I picked this up when I bought those other Glen Campbell CDs, but I guess with Amazon, you might make one order, but it might come from 5 different places. So it took a couple weeks for this to get in there. It was one of those that it was what they call I forget, but it was $3. So since it was under 5, an add-on. So you have to have a purchase that's like 25 or more, and then you can do add-ons, or you can do, I guess, enough add-ons to add up to 25. But so anyway, there's not much to it. It's kind of plain on the inside, but I was very pleased to pick this up. It was $3. I think it's up to 5 now. There's still another Glen Campbell gospel album that I'd like to get, and that would be the one with Russ Taff on it. It seemed like there was somebody else that was on that CD with Glen, but I can't remember. Anyway, so that's Glen Campbell gospel album. The next two are kind of in the prog rock category. John Elefante and Mastodon, Revolution of Mind. I picked this one up because, well, one, I'm a huge Elefante fan, so it's on a digipack with a booklet inside. I picked this up. I'm a huge fan of his. I think his vocals are tremendous. Elefante, of course, was a former lead singer for Kansas after Steve Walsh left, and then he did. He and his brother Dino produced some Petra albums back in the 80s and I believe early 90s. And then, of course, he had a Christian rock group or project, whatever you want to call it, called Mastodon. And in fact, this CD, I believe you can find it, might be kind of hard, but I believe it was issued also under the name Mastodon without John Elefante being on the front. So yeah, so it's kind of strange in that way. I think it's the same track listing, but it would just be called Mastodon Revolution of Mind. But very good album. I love songs like Revolution of Mind, Slay Your Demons, and Lying. Lying's almost a metal ballad. This album might rock just... I was trying to think, why would he put it under certain names? I guess maybe the Mastodon projects maybe rock just a little harder. Maybe he doesn't put quite doesn't go for the ballads quite like he does on John Elefante albums. Which brings me to the next album, John Elefante, On the Way to the Sun. On My Way to the Sun. I've got a download of it, so I haven't opened the CD yet, but another great album from John. I might like the Revolution of Mind a little bit better, but as long as he's singing on something, I'll usually pick it up because he's such a tremendous vocalist. Okay, then I picked up this kind of odd CD, Angelica. It's a Christian metal band I remember from the late 80s, early 90s. This is a reissue. What I read was that it was reissued by a company in Brazil, I believe. When I got it, a little mixed feelings about the packaging. cardstock doesn't seem quite. It almost feels a little bootleggish. I don't know. I don't know that it's. CD looks fine. The artwork looks fine. It just doesn't look like the cardstock is quite up to what you would normally see. I ripped it to my phone just fine. And I say all that not to knock it, because let's be honest, if Roxx Records put up, and they're not the ones that issued this, they're just he was kind of acting as an outlet for it. He, I guess, acquired some copies and put them up so that people could get them. If they put out one for Angelica's Walking in Faith album CD, I'd snap it up in a heartbeat. So I'm not trying to really knock it. I'm just trying to be honest about, if you, I don't know if they even have copies left, but if you run across a copy of this, just being truthful. I mean, it's the packaging is a little, maybe not up to snuff, or not up to usual standards, but I still appreciate the fact that I have a copy, because it's out of print and hard to find. Alright, so next is a thrash album. I've got a download of this, so I haven't popped it open quite yet. Disaffection, Begin the Revolution. It's a Christian thrash album. Been listening to the download and love it. So I grabbed up a copy because I think it's out of print as well. You probably find a reasonable copy. I found mine for $6 or $7. But again, very good album. The next album, everybody will know. I think Andrew Bolena, I'm not sure how to say his last name, has been talking to me about on my pages about Iron Maiden and what to get and his recommendations, and I took it. I have Iron Maiden, Power Slave. Grabbed this one pretty cheap off eBay. What can you say? I even with my not being as familiar with mainstream metal, and just now kind of picking some of this stuff up, I had heard stuff off of Power Slave. Good stuff. Really get that song 2 Minutes to Midnight stuck in my head. Love that song. Alright, and then the last three items I have kind of shows the kick that I've been on lately. One of my favorite mainstream metal bands, Megadeth. And so I've hunted down, got all three of these off of eBay from various buyers at pretty good, really good prices. So the first one is Megadeth. So far, so good. So what? Haven't really had a whole lot of time to get through it yet, but I saw Metal Mickey talking about this disc on a Megadeth video he did, and I think I had to pick up a copy. And then this next one is Megadeth Hidden Treasures. It's a limited edition from Japan. I got mine for under $10. Took a minute to get here, but that's okay. It's kind of a creepy picture. It has some bonus tracks on it. which is why I went after it, after this particular copy. And then if you look in the liners, a lot of it's written in Japanese. So, and I really haven't had much time to listen to this at all. I just got this one. This is probably the most recent one I've gotten. And then finally, I found a really great deal on this Megadeth Rust in Peace Live on Blu-ray. I haven't popped it open yet. Might do that tonight. I've been listening to Rust in Peace a lot and really like it. So now if I'll tag Megadeth in here, and if Dave Mustaine happens to stumble across this video, if you're watching, Dave, I need a Dystopia Blu-ray. Don't listen to Metal Mickey. I love Dystopia. I need it on Blu-ray. Okay. Thanks, Dave. So, well, that's what I've gotten recently, and so it won't be long now, and I'll start getting videos up. I'll probably have to do couple videos, because I bought quite a few CDs, and we'll be seeing you soon, and hope everyone's doing well. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and hopefully we'll be doing a little more. So